What's the deal with British Christmas? Hi everyone, it's me. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Alanna and I'm a Canadian, but I have been living here in the UK for the last 8 years. And over the last 8 years, I have come to love all of the weird little bits that make up a British Christmas. So without further ado, let's go. How's that? Is that cozy? All my old viewers ask about the couch. The couch is doing just fine. It's just lumpy. Anywho, we're talking about Christmas. Now, I think one of the biggest shocks when it comes to Christmas in England is the food. Now, not Christmas dinner, which we will talk about in a hot second. No, I'm talking about Christmas snacks, Christmas treats, Christmas goodies. Because quite frankly, some of them I would not call goodies. Now don't tell them, but I am sending my nephews a Christmas snack box. Let me explain. One of the things I love about living here is taste tests. If you go on my channel, I have millions. Maybe a little bit of an exaggeration. I have a lot. And I love trying new food. So what I've done, they're not gonna see this, because they don't watch my videos because I'm not cool. But I'm going to send a box to my nephews of British Christmas treats for them to taste test. I've even made my own scorecards so they can keep score of what they like and what they don't. A couple of options. Mr. Kipling's festive Bakewells. Now, a Bakewell is not necessarily inherently Christmas, but you add festive on it and suddenly it is. These I think they'll actually like. These are tasty, they're sweet, they've got some pastry to them. I think these will go down just fine. However, I also bought them these adorable, I got 2 of them because I got 2 nephews and you know, I'm assuming nephews don't share. Tesco's Finest Fruit and Decadent Iced Rich Fruit Cake. Now, this is where the real change occurs, the divergence between countries. In the UK, a nice little Christmas cake or a fruit cake or Christmas pudding, which is the same sort of vibe, a spiced fruit interior, that is seen as, quite simply, a decadent sweet, a special Christmas treat. How many of you have Christmas pudding at Christmas? Not me, I'm raising my hand as like an example. How many of you have Christmas pudding? Now in North America, there's a joke that if you hate someone, you should give them a fruit cake. I'm not kidding. So the fact that this is a very lovely little Christmas treat, that spiced fruit interior, in North America, this is actually offensive. And so naturally, I bought 2 of them and I'm gonna send them to my nephews to taste try and they're going to hate me. What else have we got? The box is only so big and I was trying to find very specific British looking things. So naturally, I got them mince pies, not really a thing in Canada. You can find them, but I had never eaten them until I came here. Personally, I don't like them because once again, it's that spiced fruit interior that is just kind of offensive to North American palates. Not to say that it's bad, I just don't like it. And to be fair, I don't think my nephews are gonna like it either, which is why I'm sending them 6. Now, one thing that I do think is gonna be a crowd pleaser are the Cadbury Yule Logs triple chocolate. North America, we love chocolate. If it's a dessert, it typically has chocolate, not spiced fruit. So I think these will actually go down quite a treat. I also bought some festive Percy Pigs. Those are still on the way. And something else that I'm still waiting on. Anyway, I gotta wrap all these and I'm gonna ship them. And then my nephews are probably going to just really truly hate me. Merry Christmas. So that's the plan for today. We gotta wrap this. Maybe later. Can I tell you an embarrassing Christmas story? Okay, so I've been here 8 years. I've probably spent maybe 6 or 7 Christmases here. We kind of got into a habit where I'll go home to Canada in the summertime because it's nice and sunny and we can do stuff outside, but I won't go back at Christmas. So it's the first year that I moved to England. Now I moved to England at the end of November 2015. How times have changed. Anywho, it's my first Christmas in England. I have literally not been here a month, just barely. And I was at somebody's house and they offered me Christmas pudding. Now, I didn't know what that was. Never heard of it, never experienced it. I really didn't know. So I said, sure, I love trying new things, right? And they come back and they give me this huge helping of Christmas pudding. And let me tell you, I sat down with that bowl and I tried one bite and I thought, oh my God, I would rather pass away. But I didn't know these people like well enough to be like, oh, actually, I'm so sorry. I hate this. Does someone else want it? I didn't know them well enough. And so you know what I did? As a polite Canadian, I ate as much of that serving as I could possibly stomach. And I hated every minute of it. I have tried variations of Christmas pudding over the years as well, of various Christmas snacks that I don't like. I think you should always try things multiple times because sometimes the first time you try them, it's just not the right time, you know? Or maybe you try like a really crappy version when there's better versions and yada, yada, yada. So I do think try things more than once because you never know. And I have tried Christmas pudding a couple of times, but I think that first experience kind of traumatized me. But that's my to-do list today, is I need to wrap all of these Christmas British snacks for my nephews. We gotta wrap them and we gotta post them. Although I'm still waiting on the Percy Pigs. So, knowing me, it is going to be late. Next up, we are talking about British Christmas dinner. And we're in the kitchen because we're talking about dinner. Get it? One thing that I have learned over the last 8 years, celebrating Christmas in Canada, celebrating Christmas in England, is that every family kind of does it differently. Even my Canadian friends celebrate Christmas differently than my family. So I do think it is very family specific. But when it comes to Christmas dinner, one of my favorite parts of Christmas, if I'm gonna be honest, our Christmas dinner was basically something like this. Turkey, mashed potatoes, maybe some like fresh rolls, like fresh bread, cranberry sauce, usually the horrible gelatinous canned stuff because that was my favorite, gravy, maybe some peas and carrots, maybe like a green bean casserole situation. That's very North American. Stuffing, and that was kind of like the main bits. And then maybe we'd have like an apple pie for dessert or apple and rhubarb, something like that. Usually a pie for dessert. Now, a British Christmas dinner plate, I don't think is too different stereotypically. You're usually gonna see some of the things that I already mentioned, minus the canned cranberry, because that is very North American. But you usually see like roast potatoes, maybe both. I know some families do both, which is wild to me. How decadent. Can I come over for Christmas this year? Because I would like both types of potatoes. Parsnips, I hate parsnips. I think they are the evil carrot. They're disgusting. They don't taste like they look. I don't like parsnips. No, thank you. Yorkshire puddings is a big one. I love a Yorkshire. I now make our Yorkshires. I did a video on my channel like a million years ago doing Yorkshire puddings. That's become part of our Christmas tradition now, is I will do the Yorkshires. Maybe you're one of those British families that does bread sauce. I also, guess what, did a video. I made bread sauce. It's a medieval sauce, like medieval origins. But some British families have that as part of their Christmas plate. I think it's quite nice, especially like to dip meat and stuff into. We don't do it just because we can't be bothered, but it does exist and it's pretty good. What else? Oh, pigs in blankets. This is actually a fun little tidbit. Did you know that pigs in blankets in the UK are not the same as pigs in blankets in Canada? Pigs in blankets in Canada are sausage meat. It's typically sausage meat, but it's wrapped in pastry. And pigs in blankets in the UK is sausage meat wrapped in bacon. And to be completely honest, they are both good. I really miss North American pigs in blankets because I haven't had them in so long. There's something about them. I mean, it's like a sausage roll, right? You got pastry, you got meat, you can't go wrong. In the UK, you've just got double meat, which also you can't go wrong. They're just both great. And I'm like salivating now. But leave a comment down below. First off, where in the world are you from? Mostly just British people watch my videos, but let me know where you're from and let me know what your Christmas dinner plate is gonna look like. Now, when it comes to the main event, things differ just a little bit. So, in Canada, this is what my family used to do. And again, every family is different, but this is what we did. So, we'd wake up. Now, I would actually sleep in. I would never wake up at 5 a.m. for Christmas because even as a child, I loved to sleep. So we'd get up at like a reasonable hour and we would open stockings. Now we don't have a fireplace in this flat, so our stockings are just kind of like under the tree. But back home, we'd have a fireplace, we'd have our stockings up, and we would do the stockings first. And those are just like little things like chocolates or socks or nail polish, like just like little bits. And then we would have breakfast, which would be like scrambled eggs, bacon, toast, fruit, orange juice, something like that. All the while, we would have a fire in the fireplace happening, but we would also have a fire log on the TV. Do you know those things? So way back when, it used to be actual TV stations would play like soft Christmas music and it would have a fire and like someone would poke it every once in a while, and I loved it. Nowadays there's actually YouTube channels that you can put on. That's a fire log. Honestly, this was like one of the highlights of my Christmas, was watching it on TV and catching when the poker would come in and poke the fire log. So after breakfast, we would open the Christmas presents. Now, my family was a one at a time family. We didn't all open at the same time. To drag it out, we would have one at a time. I always really liked handing out the presents, so I would try to, you know, cycle through everybody. So nobody was like opening anything back to back, and we would all kind of like finish the presents at the same time, hand them out, one at a time, we'd open presents. And then after that, you'd basically like run off and go like play with all the stuff that you got. Like maybe you got things that need to be charged or needed batteries, so you'd be running around the house looking for batteries, or you'd be like putting on your new socks, or you would just start playing with the stuff that you got. And then, here's a big thing. We would have Christmas dinner. Now the word dinner kind of makes you think in the evening time, and you'd be right. So our family would usually have Christmas dinner at like 5 or 6 p.m., like a regular dinner time. And it would have all the things we talked about in the kitchen. You'd have a pie, the fire log would still be on the TV, and everyone would just like hang out and eat and then chill. But the Brits said, Christmas dinner, how about 2 p.m.? Can I have a little bit of a rant? This is one of the things that I actually kind of hate. Britain. I don't want to have a giant meal at 2 p.m. It just makes me feel horrible. So what a lot of British people will do is you have your Christmas morning, however it looks for your family. You'd have Christmas dinner at like 2 or 3 o'clock. Then you're just comatose for the rest of the night. After all that food, you just end up on the couch. Maybe there's a Christmas movie on TV and you're just like comatose. Everybody's just like overfed. I find there's a lot more chocolate at a British Christmas dinner as well, like little quality streets and things. We never had that. So I feel like you have your Christmas dinner at 2 o'clock, you're eating all this chocolate and Christmas pudding, and then you just like, you're on the couch. You're just like, I can't function. And you stay comatose for a couple of hours until you start getting hungry again, maybe like 8 o'clock. So you have like some leftovers. You have like dinner 2.0. And then Merry Christmas. I think being an immigrant or an expat or however you want to call yourself in a foreign country during Christmas time is tough. And I don't think a lot of people think about it or talk about it. There is an unused rowing machine. Ignore that. It's not part of Christmas. Now, I don't consider the UK really to be a foreign country as much anymore because this is my second home. This will be my 8th Christmas here, really. It's part of my life now. And I have my own traditions now. So a fairly new-ish tradition is my mom comes to visit. So we did this last year. She is coming to England again this year. I'm very excited. So what we end up doing is she'll come for a week early December. So you kind of try and miss some of that like crazy rush. So she'll come here for a week. Hopefully it doesn't rain. Last year, the train strikes happened the week that she was here. They were striking almost the entire time, and it snowed, which was really surprising. So this year, I'm hoping that we will do some more Christmassy stuff. I like taking her to the restaurants that I like to eat at. I like taking her to Christmas markets, to the pub, to anything really. Maybe less so touristy stuff and more so like things that make up parts of my life here. And then mom will go back to Canada for actual Christmas to spend with my family back home and my grandma. So they'll have like Christmas Day. We'll FaceTime them the day of and we'll unwrap presents and that kind of stuff. But while she's here, we can have like a little mini Christmas. I have some presents that she can unwrap here in person, but we'll also do some on FaceTime like on the day of. Christmas is one of those holidays as an expat, you really got to figure out what works best for you, and it can be really daunting and intimidating and lonely and messy. But I found this sort of like dual Christmas really worked out well last year. It was really nice to do stuff in person with my mom, and we have a mini Christmas, and then we will have a FaceTime Christmas on the day of. So it's kind of like you gotta just figure out what works for you, because yeah, it is really expensive traveling for Christmas itself, and it's tough. So you gotta find out what works for you. I just pray that it doesn't rain the entire time my mom is here. So if you're a praying person, please keep me in your prayers. What are your plans for Christmas this year? Leave a comment down below. Are you celebrating with family? Are you playing it solo? Are you pretending that Christmas doesn't exist? Leave a comment, let me know. Whatever you end up doing this Christmas, I hope you are happy and cozy. Christmas is tough, so please go easy on yourself. And just as a side note, I do live stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/adventures and naps, and I will be live streaming over the Christmas period. So if you need a break from family perhaps, or if you are solo this Christmas, I will be on Twitch if you want to hang out and come join us. There's always a link in the description, or it's just Adventures and Naps on Twitch. You can find me. And it is free to join in. You don't have to pay or anything, but I will be there if you need some company. If you would like to watch more videos, which would be totally awesome, why not check out this one where I unbox a bunch of really weird advent calendars. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, bye!